Adobe Premiere Tutorial 1. Open Premiere software and enter Premiere Start page. On the Start page, we can create and open files. Click New Project to enter Premiere's New Project window. We can name the project or modify the location where the file is saved, so that we can process the file easily. After the new project is built, we will enter the workspace. The Premiere workspace is mainly divided into 4 areas. The lower 2 are file and video processing areas, and the upper 2 are effect processing area and browsing area. Select Import in the pop-up menu to import the video into the processing project, and then we can find our video in the project window. We drag the video directly to the timeline on the right to place the video in the processing area. After dragging the video onto the timeline, we can see the specific information of the video on the timeline. The above line is the video information, and the underneath line is the audio information. On the left side of the window, we can see various tools, such as Razor tool. After selecting it, you can click on the video bar to cut the video into pieces, and then use various tools to process each piece differently. Summary. 1. Open the software and click New Project. 2. After the new project is built, the Premiere work begins. 3. Find the location of the video file and select the video we need to process. 4. Right-click the video we need to process and select Import from the pop-up menu. 5. Drag the video directly to the timeline on the right to place the video in the processing area. 6. After the import of video, we can use various tools to process different videos.
Okay, so right now you're in text here in the type tool. What you want to be is using the selection tool. That's the short key for that is V. Short key for text is T. So you hit V on the keyboard.
You just can enter any words, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, absolutely. So here, what you've got when you select with the selection arrow tool, is you grab whatever you have and you can move it on the screen wherever you want. Right now you've got a really big text box, so what I would do is go into text. I'm not sure why it's
here.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's not selecting, but at any rate, you can choose this. Essential graphics. Oh, you're under graphics again. Go back into assembly. Okay, so here it's treating it a little bit different. You can go in here and write whatever it is.
Just now you put which button?
T.
T.
T for text. So you can write whatever you want.
Yes.
Hello world.
Now I want to make it smaller. How to do it?
You can select the whole thing. Go into Effect Controls. Go under Text.
Text.
And then choose what size you want. So you can make it smaller incrementally. You can use the slider to make it bigger.
And I can also change the color here, right?
Yep. So right now what I'm noticing is that the text box that I'm changing is here. I'm going to delete that because I don't need this. Go under text. Here it even gives you the text. It says hello. So here you can use this to make it bigger. Right now, see it's disappearing. That's because the text box is too small.
Big.
So the text box here limits the
should be enlarged.
Yeah, you can make the text box bigger if you want the text even bigger. But you said you wanted it smaller. So let's say I like it about this big. Or if you need a specific size, 75. You can decrease the text box. You can see that changing the text box doesn't change the text. So, for example, you can change from Tahoma, which is the automatic one. You can go to 20th century bold and have this round. And maybe you want it in the middle, or you want it like spread out over the size of this text box. So you can control, you can go hello, you can go small as well. If you've got a paragraph, you can fully control the paragraph here. So this is like a normal text box. You've got the position. If you want to change the color, you go here under appearance. You change the color. For example, or you want the eyedropper if you want it like skin tone, like this.
Yes.
It's changed now. You can change. You can turn on these different functions for it. So, for example, stroke. Stroke means the outline. So let's say I want this extremely bright green. Here it is. So now it has a small stroke. You can't really see it because it's just one pixel wide. If you make it 10 pixels, a pixel is 1 square of color on a screen. And it's a specific size. So more pixels means bigger screen or bigger object on the screen. So let's say we want this ridiculous color around. Or let's say we want like yellow. Nice, warm yellow. So that's it. You can do background. So you can see that the text box now has this thing. We can make the text
we can
box
also use background.
smaller. I've got it center justified. So it looks like a highlight, for example. Give it a red.
Well, the background color can be changed. So
now
great.
I'm removing it, and this is how it looks. I can turn off the background or turn it back on if I want. There's also shadow. So you can give it a shadow. Again, just so that you can see, I'm going to use a ridiculous color.
And
you can see it's got a drop. It kind of looks like neon.
Would you please, I edit 1 or 2 sentences, give me an example so that I will not forget. Is that okay?
Sure. What's...
I will do it myself. If you do it, I can't remember it.
Okay.
You tell me once, okay?
So you make sure that you're always saving. So you're going Control S. You can also go File, Save. To export, you have to zoom out of this. Choose the video that you need to export. So you select it. Then you go like this. You hit this bar here, the one with the question mark, which means that you've got your segments, your sequence selected. What it does right now, so see, these things here disappeared. What these do is that they show the program what is the start and end of the thing that you need to export. Because you could have a lot of things in here, but you could select a specific part to export.
Then how to export?
Export, you can go File, Export, Media.
Here is interrupt.
It's under File. You go all the way down, Export Media. You can also go...
And how to control the destination?
So once you have selected chosen export, you go to Output Name, and it opens the window where you want to save it.
Okay.
For example, if you want to save it here, then you give it a new name. Chimgan Video. You hit Save. Here you have the different presets and settings for which you export. For example, if your video is this big and you export it this big, you're only going to get a little piece. So you have to make sure that your settings are proper. Here you can go Match Sequence Settings, which means that it will export the exact same thing that you have with your settings. You can go and choose, for example, this is usually what you're exporting, H264. It's an MP4 format. It's got a ton of things. It's got QuickTime, it's got MP3, so only sound. You can export a picture, you can export an animated GIF, GIF 6 H264 is the format which will give you an MP4 file. This is the format. Preset, this is different ready-made things that you can use to determine what size, what quality, bitrate, and so on you're exporting. For example, you can choose Facebook 720 HD. You can choose Facebook higher quality, mobile device, Twitter. You can choose VR, Vimeo, and it's got YouTube as well. For example, if you want to upload in 1080p in full HD, you can choose this one. And here it gives you a look at what it's going to look like. So this is the minute, and this is the full length of the video, so you can see what it will look like at each second. It's a good that these are powerful machines. You might, when you're doing this, if it's a less powerful machine, it won't be able to render so quickly. So here again, actually, the source is different. So maybe you want to go in and choose YouTube 1080. This is a preset. The format, if you can't find these things, that means that your format is different. So the format has to be H.264.
264.
And then if you want the best quality possible, choose use maximum render quality. And then you go, if you choose Q, it's going to open Media Encoder. It's a different program that's included in here, which means that you can edit and export. So you can continue editing something else and export. Usually I just go export.
No, export.
So now it's sending the whole thing to this destination that you chose here.
Oh, it's the easiest one. You mean, okay. Okay, I'll have a try.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Good luck.